Hey guys, I am Craig, the owner of Goodland. This is Tristan, our content developer here. You're in the shot, right now?
I'm in the shot.
Okay, nice. Okay, today we're doing a live stream. We're going to do about hour and a half, 2 hours. We're going to be lighting up our wood burning hot tub. We're going to be talking all things Goodland today. Whatever you guys want to talk about. You get questions about, you want life advice, you want to know how to use the wood burning hot tub in the winter, you want to know about our upcoming cold plunge cold tub that's coming, you want to talk about our garden hose, whatever you guys want to talk about. What does shipping look like, how are the lead times, any questions you guys have about Goodland, here's your place to drop them. We do have a few things. I got some crib notes here that we're going to be covering today. Lots of stuff. We're going to be doing the hot tub here for the first about half an hour. We're going to move into talking about the cold tub for a little bit. We're going to talk about shipping. We are going to have lunch together. Then these pages are, looking a little blank, but we're going to be winging it by the end. So if you have any questions about Goodland, about the hot tub, about the cold tub, anything you guys want to talk about, we're here and we can talk about that.
Yeah, we'll be going through once in a while, checking your questions. So yeah,
one of the reasons that we're doing this is we are filming this for YouTube. So this is going to be like a 2 hour long, or maybe we're going to speed it up a little bit, 2 hour long thing on YouTube. We're going to post that so people can watch like the whole process of kind of lighting and using a Goodland wood burning hot tub.
Yeah, so don't worry if you miss anything today. You got to go out for
if you got to go,
come back later.
Exactly. If you want to go do stuff, I'm just going to split a bit more kindling and then we're going to light this thing up.
So we have a timer here in bottom left hand corner. So basically we're going to let that run the whole time just to give you guys an idea of how long it takes to set up the tub and get it ripping hot. So should we hit it, Craig?
Yep, hit it. Let's start it. What time is it?
All right. Right now it's 11:10 and you're 10 seconds in.
11:10 already. Do you want to, you can come up here, we can talk a little bit about start a Goodland while I split some wood.
There's the YouTube camera. And let's talk about this.
All right, guys, just splitting some wood here, but wanted to kind of like open the video with a little bit of talking about how Goodland started, where did it come from, why are we doing this? So my wife and I, we're the owners of the company, and our baby, our brainchild. And what happened was we lived in the city. We lived in Vancouver. We're just off the west coast of Canada. We lived in Vancouver and we were kind of getting sick of the, the hustle bustle, the busy life of city, traffic, commuting, all that stuff. And we thought we wanted to move back and just, get a closer connection with nature, live a little bit more outdoors, get a little bit more space, and live amongst the trees. So we moved to this beautiful island called Bowen Island.
Yeah, check this out.
See this view out here. Look at this, it's beautiful. Woo! Bingo.
There's West Vancouver over there, so there you go.
So Kendra and I have a background in like design and myself, I come from like a furniture design background. And when we moved out here, what we kind of quickly realized was that like you could get all this amazing, beautiful stuff, curate the inside of your house just the way you want it, buy really high quality products from great makers like locally or abroad. Artists make great stuff for the indoors, whether it is art or furniture or cabinetry, all that stuff. When it comes to the outside and like working on the outside of your house and picking products for that, we just felt that the offerings were really, really limited, and that as soon as you kind of like close the door to come outside in terms of the product world, the focus was really just on functionality and nothing in regards to design or like user experience even. And that was really this is really what brought us to Goodland. It was like, hey, there's a good opportunity for us to like make like high functioning, well functioning, high quality products outside, but also make them beautiful. Also consider the design, because this is stuff that people are going to want to have for life, What started first was our wood burning hot tub, which is kind of what we have here, and you know, when you compare this to like a conventional hot tub, that's like almost impossible to compare, right? You know, they're made with like plastic on the outside, all molded fiberglass on the inside. And we wanted just a beautiful, natural, like long-lasting product that provides a great experience.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so we're building the fire for said tub. Come, you can actually come look in the firebox. So I've kind of like started to build the fire in here. Like get right in there, Tristan. You can show them. So all the materials you use to build a fire is really some paper or like a fire starter. You could use a fire starter log if you're kind of like new to it. And then the other, so you basically just like, there's a firebox in here. We can show you a little bit more how the wood burning hot tub kind of works, like once we get her started. But there's a couple handfuls of paper in there, some really small kindling, like not quite chopstick size, but like very thin. Okay. Dry wood to get us started. And it's not pretty. I just kind of stack it like, I guess, teepee style is what you might call that.
Yeah, just so there's lots of airflow going on.
Lots of airflow going on. Yeah, you need, you know, to have a good fire, you need like, you know, fuel and air and some heat. So that's what we need to make a good fire in there. I'm going to light this. So I'm going to check what our timer says. Okay, it's been 4.5 minutes. So the timer's going.
Yeah, you know.
Hammering for 4.5 minutes.
Classic Craig. It's all good.
So I just take a regular lighter and light it kind of near the bottom. There's a couple of like shopping grocery bags in here. I'll light it in a couple of spots. Okay. Try to get her going. Okay, we should be all right. So the stove box is at this end of the tub. That's a pretty good start. You can see it's kind of starting to catch there, but I want to let it contain some heat a little bit. So I am going to put the lid back on.
Do you have any like tips on like how open or closed you want the lid when you're first lighting it up?
Yeah, I mean, it needs a lot of air, so you don't want to close it off. I can show a little bit more about how the stove works. But I do like to just choke it just a little, just so that there is like, it's not losing all the heat, because the heat is coming up and out the chimney.
Yeah, you can see that there.
Some is like sticking in there, sticking to the wood. Yes, it's nice.
Now it's going.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. So what's kind of important at this phase of the fire is that like there's just a little initial fire in there now, but what's important is that we start to get some bigger logs going right now, so that this fire doesn't go out by the time we get there, kind of thing.
Sounds good.
I use a little bit of extra paper, so that's where we're seeing some ashes come out there. You only really need like a handful of paper, kind of thing. Especially if you have some good dry wood, which today our wood is pretty good, and I'll talk a little bit more about wood, what type of wood. So Tristan, if you get any questions, just...
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so once we get the fire started with those first kind of like chopstick size or a little bit bigger, like if you took the diameter of a penny, that would be like the biggest piece for a piece of kindling. Length doesn't really matter. The stove box is, I think, about 32 inches long, so you can actually fit a really long piece of wood in the stove box. But after you get those little ones going, then you're gonna move on to something like this, okay? I don't know what size this is. Kind of like, you can make a fist around it. 1-2 inch diameter, you might say, if it was round. So now the fire's going with some good intensity. Okay, fire's going good now.
Oh yeah.
Nice and intense. This is when we want to add some of these other logs. I just, when you throw them in, you do a nice little crisscross. Because you want to make sure the air is able to get, you know, throughout the fire, basically. Excuse me. And lid's off for now because the fire is in growing mode. I'm
already toasty.
Already heating up a bit.
Okay, we have a question here. How do you prevent mice from getting in the tub and drowning? That's a great question.
In the tub and drowning?
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Well, we've got a cover that goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a couple covers that go on the tub. There's a cloth, and I'm going to show you guys a new cover that we have today, but there's like a rolling cloth cover that goes over the top. It has some straps to secure the ends down. And then there is a cover over this end. This is actually not part of the tub itself. It's called the rigid end cover, which closes off kind of like the fire end of things, okay? Big piece of aluminum with some precise holes cut in it. And that keeps a lot of debris, animals, mice, whatever, out of the water. Personally, I've never seen any animals or like mice or anything fall into the water. Keep the cover on. If you had to, you could put something heavy on top of the cover just to make sure that they like can't get in at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cover here, that if you don't have that already, might be what you're looking for.
Yeah, the rigid end cover.
The rigid end cover.
I'm adding a little bit more wood. Okay, we're talking about the fire for a minute here. So, you know, we've kind of like got a good fire established, and now we can talk about how the fire relates to the heating time. Like, this is probably the most common question we get, is people want to know how long it takes to heat up a tub. A lot of people, when they're talking about wood burning hot tubs, have used or maybe have seen used like the round barrel style ones, and they are like usually taller and a lot more water essentially as well. So and that's has a direct relation to like heating up the tub. So when we went to design this, we know there's round wood burning hot tubs out there, super cool, but what we wanted was something, you know, a little bit more like sustainable, less water usage, less wood usage, but still kind of fits a large couple, or like a couple and a couple little kids or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like a party tub by any means, but that is intentional. Our tub is hybrid between like a bathtub and one of those big barrel wood burning hot tubs, and all that is very intentional. It's just to reduce the water, speed up the heat up time. So the heat up time, very popular question. You can get it hot in about an hour and a half, or some people do it even slightly faster. Some people say it takes them 4 or 5 hours to heat up. Now that is all about operating the fire, okay? So there's a little learning curve. A couple times you'll get the hang of it, no problem. It wouldn't be uncommon, like for your first time, maybe plan for like 3 hours to heat up the tub as you get used to it. But the trick is about the intensity of the fire, okay? So small diameter, dry, seasoned wood will heat up the tub a lot faster than slightly damp or green wood, or big logs. So I'm going to show you a couple different examples.
And meanwhile, here's what it's look like in there. So those are taking nicely, and we're gonna add some bigger stuff soon.
I'm gonna split a little bit more here.
Okay. All right, we have a question from Christy. With the learning curve, do you still think these will be okay to use for a short-term rental cabin?
Yes, great question about that. A lot of these go to short-term, a lot of these do go to short-term accommodations. And really, the opportunity is there to have it be a really successful part of a short-term accommodation, but you have to follow the right steps. It's not like a toaster that people just automatically know how to use when they come to your accommodation. So just to paint a bit of a picture, we are at the Trail House, which is a short-term accommodation that my wife and I run here on Bowen Island. So if anybody wants to come visit Bowen, come visit us. You can try the tub out here. And you know, we introduced this as part of the Trail House, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that, and it has been like every single comment in our guest book, people talk about how they enjoy using the wood burning hot tub. People say it takes them like 2 to 3 hours to kind of get it going, and that comes back to a little bit about the fire. But I think it's just a thing where you have to educate people, and you know, and part of our like automatic messaging before they get there is like, hey, anticipate that it takes this long. So we tell them how long it takes to do the wood burning hot tub. We have instruction plates on like how to do it. So we sell a little instruction plate which just has the steps on how to light the wood burning hot tub, and then there's a QR code which takes you to a little video of me showing you how to light the hot tub. We also send that to people before they get here, and it's all kind of like automated, so it automatically sends them those messages. But if you do it in the right way, it'll be like very successful. And we have found that it's like, you know, there's dozens of other short-term accommodations, but they don't have wood burning hot tubs, and people are booking it specifically for that experience.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, we found it to be really great. Okay, about the fire, we're talking about fire intensity. I don't go into like this depth when I'm, you know, explaining it on to our Airbnb guests, but we split the wood for them. So they have a bunch of dry split wood, paper to start it, lighters. It's already full of water. It's kind of like ready to go. So the key to like heating up the tub fast is the intensity of the fire. And these are the two good different examples of what you might be working with in terms of wood, okay? So if you provide your guests or you try to light the fire with this, basically the fire absorbs, like to get this to temperature where it's going to be combustible, absorbs so much energy from the fire that water is not, that energy is not translating into the water, if that makes sense. It's going into this log just to get it to temperature, just to get it to burn. So it's kind of like sucking the intensity from the fire. Okay, sorry, that was a bit long-winded.
Yeah, but that's why we start off with small stuff and work our way up.
That's why you start with kindling. And then if you want to get the tub hot fast, you got to go basically to like use these. Split it up a bit more and crisscross them in, and we'll fill the firebox now because we wanted to get it to temp quick. So split it up. Basically, this is going to get to temperature, combustion temperature, way faster than a big log is. Like the fire's almost out because I'm rambling.
Too much yapping.
Whoa. What else we got on those crib notes, Tristan?
Well, you might be able to tell us about what you're using right now to split it.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can use, maybe I'll talk about firewood and kind of like lead into that a little bit. So just remind me to make sure that I'm still lighting the fire here. Yeah, actually, Tom, can you bring the thing up? Let's show how I was rambling, not paying attention. I let the intensity of the fire go down, okay? So yes, we do have a crackling fire in here, but it's not very intense at the moment, okay? So that is not creating a lot of BTUs or energy that is transferring into the water. So we're gonna try to get her back going again, okay? So I'm gonna cut some little, split some more small ones, mix them in there. And we started talking about firewood a little bit. We talked about the size of firewood. I talked a little bit about like seasoned firewood, dry firewood. That is absolutely crucial. I think that's where you can easily go wrong is getting, not easily go wrong, it's just you want to make sure it's dry seasoned wood. And what seasoned wood means, like wood when it's standing and it's part of a tree is like super moist. It's called green wood. So when you freshly cut it, it's called green. Seasoned wood has been like split. This is split firewood. It's been split and stacked, and it should have like be subject to like sun and air, and all that will dry the wood out. Essentially, the fibers in the wood are like tiny little straws. Like the pores in the wood are like a million little straws packed together. Okay, so there's pores that go up and down here, and that's where we split the wood. But those, you need to like chop it and split it and let it have air and sun to make sure that it's like those are totally drained out, and that's good seasoned wood. Okay.
Yeah, burning green wood is
faster.
It's just difficult burning green wood, eh?
Yeah, you don't want to burn green wood. It'll take longer. It can be done. I mean, we do it. You know, if we don't have a lot of times, you know, people are kind of like often they really talk about how long it takes to heat the tub up. That's one thing that like it's not too much of a factor for me. What we love about this tub is that it's not always available for your consistent use, and that isn't for everybody. Lots of people like conventional tubs because they just want to go in there and zone out whenever they feel like it. For me, this, and we use the word like ritual a lot, because using the wood burning hot tub really has become like it's kind of something as a family. We do it on Sunday. We like, you know, fill her up if she needs to be filled up. We kind of prep the wood a little bit. We put a coffee on or make a Caesar or something like that. And there's the anticipation of it getting to temperature that is so fun. Like it turns it into a kind of an activity for the day instead of, oh, it's just a convenient, I hop in the hot water. And for me, that's what I like about wood burning hot tubs. That's what kind of turned me onto them. I'm not a hot tub person whatsoever. I don't like LEDs. I don't like the jets. I don't like chemicals. And this has none of that, but it has a lot richer experience essentially. And yeah, the trade-off is that, you know, it's not available every day, all day when you want it. But that means that it's a treat when you do use it. I went far off the splitting the wood. So you want to use split wood. You can use branches. You can use you know, things that have like when we have storms out here, we get branches, we dry them, and we'll oftentimes use them to heat up the hot tub. However, today mostly we use split firewood. Okay, the intensity is building here. Getting a bit more intense now, okay? So don't be shy. We're gonna absolutely fill this stove box up to all the way to the top, and then we're gonna, you know, put the lid on a little bit, and that's what's really gonna bring it to temperature. We might even put the cover on too.
And a good sign that the fire is going well is you can see that sort of heat ripple, that distortion, and that's how you know there's hot air.
Yeah, but
ripping
no smoke.
through here.
Like look how little smoke there is.
True. So happy fire, no smoke.
Happy fire, no smoke. A fire with a lot of air is a happy fire, and that has no smoke. All right, so we can look at a couple things here. So what we often use, and a lot of people use, is just a chopping axe. We have a good splitting axe here that we use. However, we know not everybody is comfortable using an axe, and not everybody loves to use an axe. they're hard to maintain, etc. You gotta sharpen it. So Goodland is actually, this is a product that's in development for us. And it's a little bit top secret, but we're sharing it today. And it is our Goodland firewood splitter. And we're super excited about this. It is made out of cast steel and it has like a phosphate finish on it. So it's really, really cool.
Can I show them some details or?
No, let's keep the details a secret for
Okay.
now. This is just like a prototype that we've been testing. We're making some improvements on the blade and the finish and a few other things. But yeah, so with this our first cast one, we're hoping that we're going to launch it in the next kind of few months.
Oh, this is the first time anyone's seen it, so.
First time anyone's seen it, yeah. And it's something we've been working on for a little while. It's actually a collaboration with another Canadian design company who we're super excited to be working with. Might touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, very fun. And a super safe, easy way to split firewood. What do we think? How's that YouTube camera doing?
Well, doing good.
What we'll do is maybe once I fill this up, we can show them like how the hot tub, how it works, kind of thing.
Yep, sounds
You know
good.
what time it is by any chance?
It is 11:30.
11:30. Okay, so we're not ready to move on at all. Or we're getting close. Okay. Sorry, filling up this wood box. Uh-oh, I got to take this one. It's too big to fit in there. I like using an axe, but it's not for everybody. And this just mounts to any, log or whatever you want. And it's just a super safe way of splitting the firewood.
Yeah. It's nice. You can get the kiddos involved if they're comfortable with it. It's cool.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, we just wanted something that's really sculptural, heavy duty, lasts forever outside, and pretty excited about that.
So we're actually starting to see, I don't know if you can see it, but a little bit of steam on the surface of the water here. So things are starting.
Okay, look at that. We're getting her real full. I'm gonna do a couple more.
For those of you just joining us now, feel free to leave some comments if you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask Craig. Just leave a comment. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, if you're just joining right now, essentially we are doing a live for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, and we are bringing the wood burning hot tub up to temperature, showing you guys how to do it. We're recording the whole thing for YouTube, so you can go back and watch from start to end how we light the fire and how it works. And while we're doing that, we're going to be shooting the shit, answering your questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. Drop us a comment, idea, question, and we'll cover it, okay? Otherwise, we got a few little topics. Thanks for coming by. Okay, so here you go. Let's show them. So don't be afraid to fill the stove box up, okay? This is the submerged stove box. I'm gonna tear this thing apart a little bit in a couple of minutes to show you kind of like how the inner workings of it work. But yeah, I wanted to show you basically fill it up. Now, if you covered this whole, let's talk about air quickly again. If you covered this whole thing with air, it's gonna snuff the fire out, okay? So this is a lot of wood and the fire is building in intensity, so it wants a lot of air. So I'm gonna leave the lid off a little bit, but you can come in and kind of just show this front like gap here. So the stove box has this little divider. Come right over top, maybe. Okay, so this divider goes all the way to the bottom, and essentially what it does, so when you put the lid on like that, this is drawing air in all the way to the seat of the fire, right at the bottom, and that is keeping the fire going, okay? As we can see, there's still, like, it's almost like we're getting smoke up there, so if you're getting smoke, it means that the fire wants more air. So what you need to do is just open this up. You don't need to, like, a little bit of smoke's fine. you don't need to like stand here and watch over it. We're just doing that because we're filming alive, okay? What I normally do is come out and I fill the stove box full of wood, which takes me not as long as it's taken today because I'm not rambling. I'll fill the stove box full of wood like this. I'll put the lid on like this, and then I'll come back in 45 minutes when this is almost burnt out and fill the stove box again. And then by the end of that, it's going to be close to temperature, basically. Okay?
Perfect.
I'm just going to scoop some, do a little net there, okay?
Okay. So today we're on Bowen Island here at the trail house at Craig and Kendra's property. And just look at that view. Not bad, eh? Here we are. We've set up a timer on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, just so you guys can keep an eye on how long it'll take from start to finish of splitting the wood and bringing your tub up to temperature. So far we're at just about 30 minutes, which, well, we've been chatting and yakking, and but usually at this stage, what do you say, would be closer to what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah. It's already heating up though. Oh, we should have taken the temperature when we first started.
I think we did before going live, and it was sitting at about 6 degrees.
6 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. We're at, right now we're at like, yeah, about 16 degrees Celsius, which is 61 Fahrenheit. Okay, to make sure that we are heating this, we're gonna throw the cover on. Well, I guess I was gonna show them inside, wasn't it? How it works, kind of thing. Can we do that from the end, maybe?
Sounds good.
It wants a lot of air right now. I put a lot of wood in there, so it wants a lot of air. Okay, so how does the stove box work? I can take this seat out and okay. Take out the seat or recliner. So can you get a good view of that, Tristan?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what we've got is the submerged stove box. Okay, now there is other types of wood burning hot tub designs. We went for a submerged stove box with a lid that you reach in from the top. Over there, see these two pipes, like the fire is underneath those pipes, and in this area down here, I'm not sure if you can see with my fingers, but basically the water runs through those two pipes and heats up. That's the heat exchanger, and that kind of like circulates the water a little bit. Also, just the conduction of the heat inside this box, conducting through the aluminum into the water is essentially what heats the water up. Okay, now you can there's a fire in there. You can touch this. It does not burn you at all. There's no safety hazard here. Okay, it is warm to the touch, certainly, but it is, you know, moving all of the heat that's in there. It's moving it into the water, essentially. We can talk about the chimney.
Yeah. There, fire's a bit happier now, less smoke.
All the components, so the wood recliners and the wood seat and the other wood seat back, are held in basically with these pins. I mean, I can show you a pin, maybe that's kind of cool. It's these bent aluminum pins that we do etch Goodland on, kind of fun. But it basically, what it helps with is you can take those parts out. First of all, they're replaceable if anything were to ever happen. They're like sandable, maintainable if you ever wanted to do that, no problem. And then what it allows you to do is take the wood out really easily when you're done. Kind of the soak after a few days, you don't want to keep the water anymore. You take that out, and then essentially you're just hosing this thing out like a bathtub. That's how you're cleaning it, kind of thing. I think we had some cleaning questions, didn't we? That I can answer. Okay, Jonathan had a question. For those of you guys that have already our wood burning hot tub, if you haven't figured out that the stove lid rests on the side, that is a nice little hack. Okay, so you don't have to take the stove lid off and put it on the ground or like lean it up against here. It hangs off the side wherever you want to hang it. Okay? No problem. Okay. Jonathan had a cleaning question. How do you deep clean the aluminum? Great question. So the shell of this tub is made with aluminum, and then has cedar cladding on the outside and the cedar seats on the inside. How we deep clean the aluminum is you can use kind of any countertop cleaner that you want. We use like a countertop, a green countertop cleaner. I also like Vim. I don't know the environmental studies on that product necessarily, but what it has in it is kind of like there's some abrasiveness in the cream, and so if you put that on, and then I'll give it a deep brush with this car brush, and that will like super clean it, kind of thing, like sparkling new kind of thing. So that's how we do it. You could pressure wash it if you want. You could use a cloth for it, but you wash for a deep clean. You wash the inside like you would with a car. Not the inside of your car, the outside of your car. Okay. Just quickly, we were talking about how does the wood burning hot tub work. The smoke from the fire comes up, or the exhaust essentially is this chimney. Our chimney is different than anybody else's chimney in that it has this heat shield. Okay, so this will stop your hand from scalding. Okay, this pipe here is very hot, of course, because there's fire coming out of it. But this is the heat shield that prevents you from scalding. So if you're like, you slip when you're getting in, you put your hand here, like you're not going to burn yourself. Okay. Or if a kid reaches up and touches it, you don't have to go to the hospital. There's no significant burns, no problem. Okay, a little bit hot, they'll know like, oh, don't touch that again. But
and no same with the lid as well, right?
And same with the lid. Yeah, the lid is double insulated. Okay, so the lid has like 2 layers of construction, and so it uses the 2 layers plus the air gap in the middle as insulation to protect your hand. So that's the stuff that gets hot at wood burning hot tubs, and so we have these kind of design considerations that prevent that stuff and make it a more enjoyable experience. Wood splitter, someone wanted to see that. We talked about that. We might go over it again a little bit later. How full can you fill the firebox? Right to the top. Fill it right to the top. Let's see the new cover. Okay, good time, because we're trying to heat this thing up, and it's a good time to maybe show the new cover. Keep a little skimmer on hand to get any debris out. This is an all natural tub. There's no pumps, no filters, anything like that to do it. So. Okay. We'll do this. All right, so we're going to be looking at a cover here that is we've been using for testing for quite a while and evaluating the prototype and different things like that. But this is a new insulated cover. This is not the total final one. That we have made our finals from this, and then these are in production right now. You're still going to be able to get the rolling cover if you want, which is currently on our site, and then you can always get this afterwards if you want. You can get whatever cover works for you. Okay, this cover is made of insulated foam. It's rigid. Someone can stand on it. Snow load, no problem. It's totally good with that. It's got this like nice, it's not like a vinyl cover on the top, not like a shiny fake plastic product. It's an Oxford cloth, and then on the underside has like a waterproof.
Yeah, let's check that out.
On the bottom, we're still trying to finalize what the color on the bottom is going to look like. So this is just the prototype, not the finished thing for sure, but it does have a great R value. Our current rolling cover has really great R value as well, but I find like it's just a little bit heavy and cumbersome sometimes. So this one is a lot more lightweight. One of my favorite parts is this like embroidered Goodland on it. Just wanted to keep it like really low key, but still have some branding on it. So it's the same black on black. And then it has these two handles, so you just fold it over. Well, you can fold it over and like check the temperature of the tub and fold it back. Or to take it off, it has these two covers where
Couple handles.
it's just like, yeah, two handles where it's like you just pick it up and you can put it wherever you want. A lot easier to handle than like a conventional hot tub cover because it's a lot smaller.
Deb had a quick question.
Yeah.
Does the actual stovepipe ever need cleaning? Great question.
Yes, the stovepipe, just like any stovepipe, will eventually need cleaning. You can just, if people don't know this, the stovepipe just slides off, and then you can clean it inside. You can get like a cleaning brush, chimney brush kind of thing to get in there, clean some of the creosote out. That is a good practice. We don't know, like depending on the type of wood you're using and stuff like that, it might be every couple of years to several years on when you might need to do that. But yeah, certainly for longevity, cleaning out the inside of that is not a bad thing. Even a pressure washer, you can get a pressure washer in there and get some of the creosote out. That is always a good thing too.
Nice.
Okay, I think, what we didn't talk about, draining the tub. What time is it?
11:50.
I'm gonna add a bit more wood.
Okay, another question coming in. Do the cedar backrests and seats need cleaning between guests in a short-term rental? If so, how do you do it so you don't ruin the cedar?
Yeah, good question. They are raw cedar. They don't need any specific cleaning, but certainly you want to make sure they're like clear of debris, if that makes sense. So if there's like, I don't know, pine needles in there or maybe someone's hair or something like that, when you pull them out, give them a good hose down. We spray them with the countertop cleaner and then give them a good hose down, and then you're good to go in terms of cleaning. So it's kind of like the same way you clean this tub, in the same way you would clean a bathtub or a shower at your short-term rental. So you clean all the surfaces, spray them with a cleaner, hose them off, wipe them off, and you're ready to go. A good resource for that is we just made, I think we made a couple videos. Yeah, we made 2 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
That are a bit longer format, and they're like, one of them is called How to Create a 5-Star Soak for Your Guests, and it's about kind of like a guide to preparing the tub for them, how to explain how to use it, how to set it up for them. Basically, you want to set up your guests for success. So it's a guide on how to do that so that you get a 5-star review every time. Okay, so that's what it is for a 5-star soak. The other video we have is essentially a video, something about cleaning it, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what the title is. But essentially, it's a video that you can send to if you have a third-party cleaner, or you're not doing the cleaning that day or whatever. You can send that video to tell them how to clean it.
Yeah, it's a step-by-step instructional video on how to drain, clean, and do all that.
Good one. Okay, so we're ready to fill the stove box up again.
Beauty.
This thing's gonna be hot in no time, buddy.
All right, comment from Chris. I bought one of these a couple years ago and we love it, but I'm glad to see a new cover. Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Thanks for being a customer. That's awesome, and joining. I think the new cover is going to be great. We have, like, something that's important to us is just kind of always, like, it is that user experience. And so as we grow as a company and learn new things, we will develop new products that improve your experience. So we have a couple of those coming, and one of them is the new cover. So that should be pretty cool. Those will be available in a couple of months. The other one that we have is a filter kit, a filtration kit. Sorry, I should say filter adapter kit.
Yes.
Okay, let me flip a couple of these. I guess we could take turns. You could put the phone up there. I could answer some questions while you split some wood.
Perfect.
You want to do that? Fill the stove box up once more. Yeah, let's talk about water for a second. That'll play into the filtration kit. Sorry, no one's watching if you guys do have a comment right now. But the water is... So this is a natural hot tub, so there's no chemicals, there's no pumps, there's no filtration, nothing. So you fill it up just like a bathtub, and you can usually use it depending on the water source for about, let's say, I don't know, 5 to 10 days, depending on how much you're using it and what the water's like in your local area. Hey, Kendra. You can just leave that, but we wanted you to come say hi. Do you want to do that now, or? When I finish talking about water, then maybe you can come say hi for a sec. So the water lasts kind of like 5 days to 10 days to 14 days. You can add bromine or hydrogen peroxide to like sanitize the water and help it stay for longer. But you know, there's also best practice of like shower before you get in kind of thing. All that will extend the life of the water inside the tub, and that leads me into one of the new products that we have coming is a filter adapter kit. So there are companies out there. There's one called Intex, which they're not sponsored or anything like that. We've been using the Intex filter a little bit in testing, and it seems to be working good. So what we developed is like an adapter kit. So you can adapt a filter, the Intex sand filter, to the tub. So what that will do, it'll suck water in through the drain hole, okay, and then it'll pump it. This thing's not expensive either. It pumps it like through a sand filter, so it filters out any debris, any hair, bacteria, and then it puts the water back in over the side of the tub. So all that works too, like with both covers on. It just hooks behind here, and it's like this nice, essentially the adapter is the way that it hooks up to our tub on the underside, but also how it returns back into the tub. So that's like this nice aluminum neck that kind of like dumps the water back in. And what's cool about that is you can set it on a timer. You can set it, what we did basically was we got it to run from midnight to 2 a.m. and it would turn on every day automatically, cycle the water for 2 hours, and just kind of keep it like crystal clear. Keep in mind though, it doesn't sanitize the water. So when you're talking about water, maintaining it, keeping it, there is the cleanliness of the water, so that's like the clarity, cleanliness, and then there also is the sanitization of the water. So the bacteria doesn't breed in this like it does in a normal hot tub, because a normal hot tub stays hot all the time, so you don't have to treat this water. But if you want to extend it, keep it, sanitize it a little bit longer, you can add bromine or hydrogen peroxide to the water. Okay, that's it about the water. That's kind of it about the tub for a minute. It's lunchtime-ish here now. Kendra dropped off some lunch. Are you gonna come say hi?
Hi, everyone.
Tell them what you do. I'll come back inside.
Well, this was just sprung on me. Hi, I'm Kendra. I do the shipping, so when you order a hot tub, you'll be speaking and working with me to get it delivered to your curb. And
tell them how the shipping works. Like, so what is it called, the way that we ship it to them?
so our shipping is called curbside
Yeah.
LTL. It's an LTL limited, less than truckload shipment. So it is delivered to your curb, which is where the public land meets your property. So that looks different for everybody, but that is what, yeah. So once it's at the curb, then it's your responsibility to hoof it up to its landing place.
Yeah, give it a quick look over. If you live in a weird area, that's where Kendra gets like these like spidey senses of like, oh, you know, yeah, you basically have to have a like an address that shows up on Google Maps. Otherwise, the truck drivers, like, we're not delivering it. Unfortunately, we would if we could. But when you order it in Minneapolis or Vermont, you know, we're not going to drive all the way over there. So we have like a third party basically that essentially delivers it. And the truck drivers get unhappy if you don't have a Google address. So there are other kind of, like, if you live in a really bizarre area, like, this is like a fully off-grid product. So we ship, I always tell people we ship to like the most unusual locations you could imagine. Water access only islands, like far off, middle of nowhere, Alaska. And so there's a couple of other things. We've got pickups.
Yeah, so if you have a tricky address,
Yeah.
it would be best to ship it to a terminal. So you could pick it up, you know, if you wanted it at a cabin outside of Portland that you know is really tricky, rural, dirt roads, but you've got a pickup truck or a friend with a van that can access that property, it's kind of best to deliver it to that terminal because they have forklifts, they've got you know, great staff that can help get it into the back of whatever vehicle you can then use to take it to that trickier location. So that is kind of like the easiest,
that's
seamless
a good one.
way.
It's very flexible too, right? Because the delivery otherwise is kind of just Monday to Friday type thing, right? But if you're at your remote cabin on only Friday nights to Sunday mornings, it might be easier for you to kind of figure out how to get it there, or we'll work with you. So far right now, our hot tub and our cold tub that's coming very, very soon are like movable by a couple people. So Kendra and I actually, like, when this arrives, it's like fully on a pallet. You can like take the stove box out. Do you want to put some more wood in actually, Tristan?
Sure.
You can take the stove box out. You take
pretty good.
You take the chimney out. You take the seats out. You can even take all this wood siding off as well. And then the aluminum body is only about 125 pounds. So Kendra and I can lift that up and carry it to where we need to go. The cold tub is a similar weight, maybe like slightly heavier, but it's not as big, so that makes it a bit easier. But something that we haven't really talked about yet that we do have that's coming is called the yard utility cart actually. And that's a really neat, it's essentially like a dolly that you'll be able to order with your hot tub that has these like big off-road wheels, and it extends. So the yard cart is only like, I don't know, what is it, Tristan, like 3 feet long by 2 feet wide, kind of thing. And then it extends up to like 6 feet long. So you can actually, if you order it with the tub, when you get it, you'll be able to like unpack the yard utility cart, extend it for the full length of the tub, put your tub on, and push it to like almost wherever you need to go. So that product is still in development. I think we're hoping to have that in the next kind of like 5-6 months kind of thing, to make those last bits of the delivery a little bit easier.
But it still is easy for the two of us to lift it. You know, if you get everything out as Craig said, and all the wood off, it's like pretty doable for 2 people, and I'm not super strong, so.
Yeah, if you want more information on that, we actually made a video, all 3 of us.
Oh yeah.
That kind of breaks down all the details of shipment and.
Yeah, we do. We made a great video on that. What does curbside shipping look like? If you buy a product, that automatically gets sent to you. That's it for you.
Okay, great. Bye.
Okay. Thanks. Kendra brought lunch. Thank you so much. Where do those go to? Okay. Oh yeah. We're ripping, baby. Okay. What time is it? We haven't even talked about the cold tub at all yet. It's a bit scary. That's okay.
How about we have a bite? And,
let's have a bite, dude. Sorry, we're in full crib notes here. Pop those in. I'll do a temp check here.
How are we looking? Rain frame?
Yeah, we're looking pretty good. It's about 78 right now. 78 Fahrenheit.
And what's that in Celsius?
See, at some point I swear it's about 25.
Tim says you guys should develop a rope hook, like a cook rack, that comes off the chimney.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We've actually talked about that. It was just going to be like a little thing that slides on the top, and you could hang your rope or your towel on it, and I think it would actually heat your towel.
Oh, no kidding. That's cool.
That would be really cool. We don't want to start a fire, so that's why it's a great idea, Tim. Does Tim have a tub?
Good question. Tim, do you have a tub?
Okay, so I'm going to give it a little stir. Comes with a stir stick, GOODLAND stir stick. You're going to look at this. Okay. What's kind of fun about this is made from one of the cedar slats on the outside. This is Ryan's idea, but it's essentially milled from one of those, and it basically, you stir the water with it. Okay, the water, the hot water goes to the top, and the cold water will be at the bottom. So every once in a while, you want to just give it a little stir. Whenever you fill the firebox up, give it a little stir, and it'll even that out a little bit. Okay, it's not mandatory. If you forget to do it, doesn't matter. But you do want to stir before you get in. Okay. We'll answer some questions and have a sandwich or something.
That's good.
We do have a bunch of questions that has been submitted by our team and friends, and just ones that we've kind of like harvested over people asking us over email, that we were like, this is the most common questions kind of thing. So we're doing this. We didn't talk about the drain yet, so we have to do that. This is what the plug looks like to the bottom of your tub. Okay, this is a recent improvement we did maybe like 9 months or so ago, where we put on this expanding plug. So you put this in the drain of the tub and you twist it, and the rubber expands, sealing the tub kind of thing. If you are not where it is freezing, below freezing, you can just use the drain valve, and we'll show that a little bit after. But yeah.
Earlier someone had a question about, they said their tub is currently frozen solid.
Okay.
And wanted us to touch on that.
Nice. No problem. If your tub freezes solid, that's not a problem at all. What you want to do is just start like a small, not super intense fire, and slowly bring it back up to temperature. Like it might take an extra hour or something like that just to like thaw it out. But don't move too fast. Don't fill the firebox up. Just do like a little fire in the bottom and let that water, let the water thaw out. Okay.
Easy peasy.
So no problem.
Chrissy asked if we have the old plug.
Yes.
And we get the new one.
Yeah. Drop us an email. It is going to be available We're gonna put it on the website and send you a link, like almost within the next couple. Actually, Tristan was just taking photos of the plug. That's what kind of one of the things we've been waiting for, is to have photos of the tub.
Yeah, we took the most beautiful studio shots of this.
They look great.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, or you could also, you can Google like a number 8 winterized plug. It's not, we didn't design the plug, we just spec'd it, and we're really happy with the new plug. It's been working for a long time really well. So yeah, you can look up a number 8 winterized plug and just like get it off Amazon or wherever you want to get it. But it'll be available on our website soon too.
In any color, as long as it's black.
Yeah, in any color black. Okay, if you guys are just joining right now, we're kind of on a live lunch break.
Super exciting.
Tristan and I, we're from Goodland. We're heating up our wood burning hot tub. We're timing it. How long does the timer say? We're timing it. We're going to be uploading this to YouTube. We're taking questions. 1 hour?
Yeah.
The average heat up time is kind of like an hour and a half to 2 hours. If you're kind of like trying to heat it up quick. That depends on the wood, ambient temperature. If it's taking you 4 or 5 hours, the logs are too big and they're not dry enough, probably, is what's going on. Like, even if it's way below zero in Canada, even if it's freezing temperatures, it shouldn't take 4 hours, 3 hours. It's not a lot of water. It's a really limited amount of water compared to other wood burning hot tubs.
So yeah, I guess you have quite the advantage if you live in like Arizona and the water's already
You got a bit of a head start.
Yeah.
Okay, with lunch, we were going to talk about just random questions that Mo had. Mo's on our design team. He gave us a couple questions. Do you want to ask them? Can you read that?
I'll try. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, what project are you most proud of at Goodland?
Okay, that's a hard. Yeah, he seeded some really hard questions here. I mean, you know, I think it's hard to say. I'm really proud of everything we've done. One of the things I'm like selfishly proud of is like the team that we have built here. We have an amazing marketing crew, production team, design team, and everybody works really well together. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. So I'm kind of like, that's almost what I'm most proud about, is like actually that we've built this into like a well-functioning company that works good, and people are enjoying what they're doing and feeling challenged. And so I think that's kind of one of the things that I feel really proud of. In terms of products, obviously the wood burning hot tub has been my baby for quite a while, and I'm really proud about that. And I think like we don't have any showrooms or stores or anything. Like, it's just hard to show people it, and like showing it over the internet is not perfect.
You miss all the beautiful details.
You miss a lot of like, it's hard to grasp how like the craftsmanship kind of thing. But this is the world that we live in. And so I think what I love is like when people get it or see it for the first time, even if they're like not interested in buying it or whatever, like maybe we do have it on display somewhere and someone sees it and talks about it. They always comment on the craftsmanship and the like quality. It's just something that you can actually like feel when you're with it, kind of thing. So we're really, that's obviously something I'm very proud of. The other one is a little bit nerdy, is the like garden hose. I am obsessed with our garden hose product. Our everlasting garden hose is what we call it. And I'm like, the reason why I love that so much is because the idea came up, basically, I think that one might be mine, because yours is,
yeah.
What did you get? You got a latte.
Milk latte?
Latte.
There we go.
We should have just got one with 2 straws. But okay, so why I love the garden hose is that it was like a weird idea that I think Ryan had on like a Thursday. Ryan's part of the design team and was like, you know what would like make this better is if we had a great way to fill it up with water. And it was like the perfect timing because Kendra and I had been using to fill up ours like this split cracked like crappy garden hose, which was like the third hose, heavy duty hose I'd bought since we moved to Bowen Island. So that was like the third one in 5 years. And I would literally had duct taped it, but it was still squirting out everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. So from there, we took like a lot of time and steps to figure out like, okay, who could make that for us? Like, we can't just make garden hose in our backyard. So
yeah, you had to partner with someone.
it took us a really long time to find like a manufacturing partner, like the right one. And luckily we were able to find one in Canada, which is really exciting to make products in Canada, which is also where we make the wood burning hot tub. And just like going down that path of like, okay, if you guys could make garden hose, like what would that be like kind of thing? And I remember the like phone calls and emails that I had with the manufacturer kind of saying to them like, listen, we want the highest quality, like we already have this tub, our reputation is for quality products. We can't have some junky garden hose.
Don't skimp.
We don't want to skimp on it. And I know these people, if they're paying, you know, thousands of dollars for a beautiful wood burning hot tub that they're going to have forever, the garden hose that they fill, like whatever it costs is going to be like nothing compared to the investment in that, right? So these people trust us to make a large investment. We're making people happy, 5-star reviews all over the place. Let's make the best garden hose we ever can. So we have this spec. We're going to hopefully cut a garden hose up in a little bit, show you what it looks like on the inside.
Sweet.
But a garden hose, everlasting, because it is literally a lifetime warranty. If anything ever happens to it, we will replace it for you, no problem. And we do that because we trust in the specifications so much. So the inner liner, the woven fabric, and then the like thermoplastic on the outside is just the best in class. And the manufacturer's like, yeah, but that's gonna be really expensive. And I just said like, I don't care. It doesn't matter what the cost is.
Well, if you're going through 3 hoses in 5 years, I mean, that's the price of one of ours, right? So.
And it has a lifetime warranty, so it just, yeah, it was kind of that. That's a good point. Sustainable in the sense of like, it is expensive, but you invest in it, and then it's going to last forever.
Yep, big time.
If you need a longer one, you can add to it, whatever.
Yeah, with the nice brass fittings, eh?
Any question?
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for joining us.
Is that Ryan B?
Yeah. Courtney's here too, answering questions. Thank you.
She's answering?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dream team.
Look at that. She's getting hot, baby.
Woo. So it's been an hour and 5 minutes, and yeah, we're getting warm.
Time flies. Time flies. Okay, Mo had a question. What artist, designer, or creator, would be your ultimate collaboration? I'm just fusing 2 questions.
And why is it me?
I've thought about that. Yeah, I've thought about that one. I'm not good at this stuff, but there is a guy that okay, Tom Fougere put me onto this guy. So I don't know if you guys know Tom Fougere. Excellent Canadian designer. He's designed some products with us. This hand shower. How have we not shown the fucking hand shower yet? The hand shower, the ash scoop, which is back here. We have a bird feeder that we designed in collaboration with Tom Fougere. Super cool. Love working with other designers. Okay, that's not. But he put me on to a writer named Leonard Corin, who had a magazine in the 80s. I think it was the 70s and the 80s. And it was called Wet. Magazine was just called Wet. It had like the best cover art you've ever seen. And it is basically like the culture of bathing around bathing in the late 70s, 80s in America. It's an American-based
That's cool.
magazine. Really cool. Like they were doing kind of totally avant-garde stuff. Legend has it that he lived in like a mechanic's garage or something, and you know they have those like pits.
Oh yeah.
Like a pit. They like walled it off and made that into like a pool.
What?
In the pit.
That's
and they would
crazy.
have like pool parties in there.
That's crazy.
Kind of thing. So I've never talked to him about that. Leonard. Anyways, that would be someone that I would love to collaborate or work with.
All right,
that would be a
Instagram,
dream.
make it happen.
Because he's a legend.
Okay, we had one question about the soot finish.
Yes. Okay.
About its durability, how long that lasts.
Okay. The soot finish, I mean, yeah, so the natural cedar, it doesn't have any finish or anything like that, and it will like gray out over time, okay? The soot finish is like kind of a soot paint application texture thing, and so it is kind of applied into the wood, like impregnated into the wood a little bit. So it's going to last a really long time, but similar to like a finish on the siding of a house, it could require some touching up eventually, and you could just use some like black stain to do that kind of thing.
So it's not just painted black, the soot finish.
It's not painted black. No.
Yeah.
It is like it's kind of impregnated in there and into the heat treated wood, if that makes sense. So it has like a depth and texture to it.
Yeah, it's
and
super nice.
yeah, it's a long lasting finish. So you know, I don't know how long exactly that is, 5 years, 10 years, but it won't like peel or chip away. But if you were to like scratch it with something, or like almost like it's totally like weatherproof, good for the outdoors, and it's like damage resistant, but it's not like vandalism. Like you could scratch that finish off if you like gouged it or hit it with an axe or something like that. So but it would be easy to touch up, just some black stain, just if you wanted to touch up some areas. So yeah, easy to do. And that wood is heat treated to like I think 212 degrees, so it's like super stable, resists rot, resists moisture, all that stuff.
What percentage would you say people go for the soot finish over the natural finish?
The natural finish is most popular. Yeah, soot's not as popular. It's black, it's bold. I love it. I love the natural. We celebrate natural things here. I mean, that's what the company stands for. Working with nature, having natural water, not having chlorine in it or chemicals or funky LED lights. So we love working with just like the most raw materials that you can get. Someone asked a question of like, why do we use aluminum for the tub? Why not other metals or whatever? What we try to do when we are like designing a product is we try to use the best material for the use. So whether that be like durability, functionality, whatever. And then a principle we like to do is that we don't really like to like cover up what that finish is or fake that finish. An example is our hose. The ends of our hose are made with like solid real brass because that's the best thing to use to connect one hose to another. Aluminum is too soft, it's too easy to like get damaged, which is that's what most hose ends are made of aluminum because it's cheaper. Ours is made of brass, and it's like a cast and then machined brass, so it's like very precise, won't leak. And like, yeah, is it more expensive? Unfortunately, it is. But a lot of other garden hose companies will use aluminum, and then they'll like coat it so it looks like brass to kind of like trick people into thinking it's a higher quality kind of thing. So one of our principles is to just use like the most natural version of the material. So the aluminum for the tub, the reason we use aluminum for the tub is because wood, like a DIY or whatever wood burning hot tub, is like not really the best product. They're really, I mean, they're amazing in a natural sense, but they're really prone to leaking. They'll get like algae all over the walls, and if you don't keep the water in it, the wood warps and shrinks and then causes leaking kind of thing. So our tub is this like welded aluminum tub body, and then everything is covered with cedar on that. So we're getting the high functionality out of the aluminum in a sense of like it's holding the water. So we double weld all the seams to make sure it holds the water, and then it's kind of like clad with cedar to like insulate it and have it look really nice kind of thing. And we love aluminum for that. We don't use other, you know, galvanized steel for that or something, because it's not the best thing to choose for it. So the aluminum is great because it conducts the heat from the firebox into the water really well. So that's a property you want of a wood burning hot tub. And then it works really well for sealing the water, like the water vessel for keeping the water in. And it's also really lightweight, so this kind of like off-grid functionality of like being able to carry it wherever you want it, or, you know, Tristan and I have moved this tub like onto the strangest places. So, and you can do that because it's aluminum and it's kind of lightweight. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we have aluminum. Aluminum is also one of the best materials for the outdoors, essentially. So if you're out there, you see like park benches or railings on high rises, those are made of aluminum because it's a great product for outdoors.
All right, we got team member Chris in here. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I gotta put my jacket on.
Yeah, it's getting chilly.
All right, we're getting close to temperature here now. So I'm making the logs a little bit kind of chunkier as we get close to temp. Oh yeah, there's our... Getting hot, baby. Okay, maybe we can just leave this off so the steam is happening.
Question from Seb.
Yeah.
He says, have any hot tubs been delivered in Europe?
Yes. Yeah. Great question. Yes, we do offer delivery to Europe. There's a couple delivery options for that. I think we probably have, I don't know, 25 tubs there. We have quite a few in France, Scotland, and yeah, the rest of the UK is we do go there quite often. It ships, normally the tub ships on like a pallet. When we ship it to Europe, we ship it in a crate. So it's a little bit more protected for a longer ocean journey. It is an ocean journey, so it takes a little bit longer. And now you can do two options. We can have it kind of delivered like to your curb like we do in North America, which is a little bit more expensive option. Or you can pick it up at the port, which is something for some people that's a little bit easier. And oftentimes if there's like a real language barrier or something, like maybe that could be a little bit easier for coordinating kind of thing, because then it lands in your own country and you can deal with your own shipping companies or whatever to get it to you kind of thing. Little paper in there. I was gonna cut, should we cut some, what time is it?
12:30.
Cut the hose. It's 12:30.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, Seb, which country are you in? Let us know in the comments.
Okay. Should we do this?
Let's do it.
Okay, just quickly about the garden hose. The garden hose that we have at GOODLAND, which is a separate product from the wood burning hot tub, obviously. The garden hose, the impetus of the garden hose was that it would be a great way of filling your hot tub. Okay, we wanted to, after using some really junky hose ourselves, we wanted to improve that experience and offer you guys just like a great way to fill your tub. So we developed our everlasting garden hose. It has a lifetime warranty. This is like a one that's been kicking around for a really long time. Okay, so this is one that's, I kind of damaged it. I think it fell in the fire or something like that. So I'm going to use it to show you guys what the garden hose is made out of. Okay, the garden hose features two cast solid brass ends. Okay, so these go really well together. This nut spins really well. It's nice and big, easy to use on your hands, and it seats this gasket down, so it's like a non-leak hose essentially. Okay, so this, because it's like really thick, kind of heavy-duty brass, it's not like, you can't crush it or deform it so that the threads don't go together well. The threads always go together well. Okay, worth mentioning is that the brass is lead-free brass, so completely safe drinking water hose. On the inside, I'll show you guys, there's no BPA or phthalates. It is like safe, almost like a straw to drink out of. Okay, and we'll do that when we open that up. But one factor of that is that the brass on the ends is lead-free brass, and therefore drinking water safe. Okay, on the ends, and then we'll look at the inside. So the outside is kind of like a matte finish. Thermoplastic is what it's called. It's like a soft, it's non-marring, which means that it won't mark up your yard or your driveway or whatever side of the house you pull it around. It's not going to mark anything up. It will get marked, however. It takes the marking instead of marking up all your other stuff, which is a good thing because it gets a patina over time. And we are going to slice into it. We have a few beautiful colors that are inspired by nature, inspired by our products. So we're gonna cut right into this. Will the YouTube see it too? Or?
Yeah.
I was saying maybe we do like that.
Perfect.
Something? Okay. Just a cut away from yourself, aren't you?
So Seb's in Belgium.
Seb's in Belgium. Do we have any tubs there? I don't know. Is wood-fired hot tub popular there? I imagine it would be. You guys are like experts at outdoor living in Europe, and you guys know what you're doing over there. Cooking outside, bathing outside. You know, that is a country we look up to in terms of like products. You know, in North America, outdoor living is like not as popular of a category, if that makes sense. It's more, there's more interior furniture focused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Seb says, and it's been now, so he's been looking for several months for a hot tub, a wood burning hot tub, He says there's lots of options in Belgium and Europe, but yours is quite unique in size and form. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
And our products are all handmade in Canada, so they're not imported. Our tubs are made right in a town called Winnipeg here in central Canada. Really proud of them. So give us a shout. You can actually like order it right on the website. You don't need to give us a call or anything like that. You can just go in, check out, put in your address, check out. It'll calculate everything for you. Okay, here's our garden hose, okay? I tried to cut it in a funky way that shows the 3 layers. So the inside, sorry, where do you want me?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. This inside black is like a food safe PVC, okay, which has been tested yearly for BPA and phthalates to make sure that that is a good product. So that's where the water is on the inside, runs in there, okay, and then it is reinforced by this like ballistic nylon woven pattern that goes on top. Okay, I'm just kind of cutting it I guess to show what it looks like. It's like I'm just chiseling, but yeah, there's a little bit where you can see the second layer, okay, of the garden hose. And then on the outside, this is like a non-marring thermoplastic. So this is what looks nice, protects it, and keeps it going forever. But together they're really strong, but they also are really good, like good for outdoor resistance. So even in really cold temperatures, the hose is still flexible. It's not going to crack. If you have water in it and it freezes, this won't crack or like snap if you bend it at a really cold temp. It is kink resistant, so you, like, as it goes, it pops out of the kinks. This is a little bit of a hard thing to show, but yeah, it's hard to kind of kink and bend it because it'll just want to like pop out of that. Okay, so it bends really well and it's really quite flexible. It's not the world's most lightweight hose. It is considered like a heavy duty hose. We are talking about doing like a thinner diameter one that would be more lightweight. But yeah, that's a little bit about our hose. Lifetime warranty. It was meant to use to fill up the tub with our outdoor faucet, but we are just doing a ton of this hose in the gardening and just outdoor space in general, washing your boat, cleaning out your sauna. People want good hose for that. They're sick of throwing it in the dumpster, and ours is a great hose. So, okay, there's my little hose rant.
We have a couple of people wondering about wood burning during the fire bans and in the summer.
Great question. Yeah, okay. Yes, if you have a fire ban in your area, normally a wood burning hot tub won't be listed as something that is banned. They're just kind of like under the radar in a sense. But we think it's like, the way we approach it is, and it's not like a hazard. You can see there's like no smokes. There's a spark arrestor up there to keep the sparks out, but it's almost like an etiquette thing more than anything. We live on a small, heavily wooded island where there's like moderate fire protection from the fire service here. And for us, our neighbors don't want to smell smoke during the fire ban, so we don't use it during the fire ban. So this is like a choose your own adventure thing. It's not recommended to use it during a fire ban. You don't want to start a fire by doing this. Fire bans are, I guess for us on the west coast of Canada, they're in the summer. So I don't want a hot tub in the summer. What we end up doing with this a lot of times in the summers, we'll like fill it up and our 2 young girls will use it as like a splash pool type thing. We have a lot of customers that use it for like a cold dipping experience because the water, if you don't have the fire on, is cold. It's as cold as the ambient temperature.
I think that's a nice transition into talk about the cold
So
tub.
we have a lot of customers that'll use it like that. Okay, as Tristan said, that's a good transition into the cold tub. Oh dude, he's hot. What's our temp? Time?
1 hour, 28 minutes.
28 minutes?
Woo. Man, even with all that chit chat and answering questions, that's good. So under 90 minutes.
You give her a stir, she's ready. Ready in 5 minutes. Ready in 5. And that was a lot with the cover off too. So I like the temperature about 102 to 104. It's really easy to set the temperature. Essentially, the bigger you build the fire, the hotter the thing's gonna get. So as we get closer to the higher up temperature, there's just a couple logs in the fire. Not very intense, but it is still raising the temperature a little bit. And if you get it too hot, you can add more water from your garden hose, or you can use like something like our brass outdoor faucet to just easily add a little bit of water and cool it down. Okay.
So one question I have for you, Craig.
Yeah.
When should you stop putting firewood in? Like at what temperature do you want it to just like cruise up to temperature?
Yeah, like 90 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Something like that. It depends how much of a rush you're in, you know? But this isn't a product that you normally rush into. This is something that's like, you know, the day is built around the soap when you're using this often. Cold tub. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna quickly talk about our cold tub. So I'm not sure if anybody has, you know, been aware of this or seen this. We are actively promoting a pre-sale thing for our cold tub, which you can go to our website and sign up for a mailing list to have first access to our first batch of cold tubs. We have been working on a cold tub for like almost a year, and we're really excited about launching it in like just a couple days. So if you're in the market for a cold tub experience and you want to make that part of your, you know, life, if you want to make that part of the way that you find pause, pop over to our website, check us out. You have to sign up for the mailing list. There's some details on the website, some sneak peeks, but we are saving the first launch of that for essentially our community, which is like our Instagram people, our people on our mailing list, etc. The cold tub doesn't look exactly like this. It looks very similar. They work like perfectly together, but there are some differences, and the differences are based around the use of a cold tub. So a cold tub, this hot tub is built for like two to three kind of people, or my wife and I with our two daughters who are like 5 and 7. Plenty of room for us. When you're doing a cold plunging or cold dipping, normally that is like a solo person event. It's not for as long. Like you might sit in the hot tub for an hour and a half. The cold tub is normally like 1, 2, 5, 10 minute type thing, and then you're out. So it is a little bit taller, it's a little bit shorter, and a little bit narrower because it's just meant for one person, and it's taller so that you can like really get under the water, which is something that you can do in here, but you can just get in the water a little bit deeper on the cold tub. The cold tub is made from stainless steel, which is the best material to use for a cold tub, and it is clad in cedar or soot black, just like our wood burning hot tubs are. So they work perfectly side by side. You can create like a great Nordic cycle type thing in your backyard by using the hot tub or your sauna and our cold tub, and then just a relaxing chair to just chill out. And you know, we've been very intentional with our cold tub in that it's about finding pause. It's about finding a way to kind of tune the world out for a few moments. It's about focusing on your own self or your intentions or whatever it is you want to focus on. There's no pressure in any of that, and there's no about. It can go to cold temperatures. It can get as low as Joe Rogan wants it to go, but that's not something that we're like focusing on. I like to set it at, I'm like learning cold dipping. I like to set it at the temperature that the ocean is. Down here behind you guys is the ocean. It's probably like at 6 degrees right now. And so I kind of like, that's like a goal that I would go for, is I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna replicate like getting into a natural body of water. And that's where I wanna go. I started at like 14, 12 degrees, and I'm kind of like getting closer to like the 8, 6 degrees type thing. And been really enjoying the experience of it. It definitely leaves you feeling refreshed. I mean, there's all kinds of, you know, alleged health benefits and all that stuff, but it really does make you feel good. We love it combined with the hot tub. What else do I have on there? I have some other notes about it too.
Yeah, you could talk about the chiller.
Right. Yes, that's an important thing. There is an important factor that's different, is that a cold tub, like to maintain a cold temperature in Arizona or, you know, New Mexico or, you know, California, it needs a chiller. So this is a piece of like electrical equipment that we've been working with a manufacturer on. We've gone back and forth dozens of times and trying to like perfect our equipment. So we've got this 1 horsepower, really powerful chiller that will chill the water, whether you want it really cold or you want it the temperature that the ocean is in your area, or a lake or a stream. Whatever the temperature is that you want, you can set it at that. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever makes you feel good. And the chiller is, like a lot of cold tubs, they have that chiller on the outside. Ours is intentionally concealed. In fact, on the outside, there's no big digital display panel thing or anything like that. It's all concealed so that the focus is kind of like, we're not really a company that is embracing technology. In fact, other than doing this live stream, we want you to be off your technology. That's the whole point of wood burning hot tubs and getting outside, being with your garden hose, tending to your gardens, is to get off our phones. And so doing the cold tub was a challenge for us because we had to incorporate this technology to chill the water. Otherwise, we're just giving you a bathtub outside. So we wanted to make a really great product that involved using an electric chiller. So it just plugs into like a standard 110, and it has all these like built-in filtration. It's like a 3-step filtration process of ozonation of the water, couple steps filtering of the water, so keep it clean and clear. And it's all concealed essentially in the tub. I don't have one to show you here. Maybe we'll do another live another day of the cold tub. Would be really, really fun once we have that. Is there any, the focus clip? I would thought that would be kind of cool.
Let's show that.
Okay.
So here's a cool little Easter egg about the cold tub. Let's go check that out.
Dude, the water's hot. Let's look at the water. What's the timer say?
Hour 36 minutes.
We're at 100. We're at 100 degrees right now. So that is hot tub temps to me, okay? And the fire's quite small right now. So basically, what we've got is some members in there. And if we leave the cover off, it's going to kind of continue to keep it around that 100 to 104 over the next probably hour and a half, okay? If you want to add a couple more logs on there, that's how you maintain the temperature. If you go fill that firebox up, now this is going to turn into like too hot, okay? If it gets too hot, that's fine. Just add some cold water, no big deal.
Can you show us that?
Yeah, we use the outdoor faucet that's mounted here. Okay, so you can just add some cold water and that'll really bring the temperature down quite quickly. We were talking about the cold tub. Anyway, we got distracted. One of the features it's like a little Easter egg feature that we have for the cold tub. You know, there's a lot of talk about when you're using a cold tub that you focus on your breathing or whatever. And we wanted our tub to just be solely about like just being in nature. So being in the water from nature, being in a cedar tub is nature. And so we found a way to give you something to focus on, a thing from nature to focus on. And it's called this little focus clip. It's like a little thing of spring steel, okay, that is bent in a certain way that you can go and maybe put a piece of salal or something here. It's nice to have something to focus on when you're in the tub, you're breathing, you're trying to stay in the water for a little while. This comes with the cold tub. So the focus clip slides in. This isn't the cold tub, but it slides in the same way in between the cedar and up here, okay? This is at the end of the tub, so where you're looking, I don't know if that's hard to picture or not. And then you can just clip this in, okay? So it gives you something to look at while you're in the cold plunge. You're having that moment of pause, and it gives you a piece of nature that you can choose. Clip something from your own garden to look at, okay? If you want to do it, if you want to put, there's all kinds of stuff you can put in there, or you can rest, find a really cool stone, and you can rest a stone on there if you want, okay? Something to look at, to focus on the veins of the stone. But it also, if you want to, you know, put a high school picture of yourself in there and look at it while you're plunging, you could do that too. Whatever it is you want to focus on, the focus clip is just a kind of a fun way to do that.
And that mounts to the end of the cold tub here.
It mounts to the end of the cold tub. This isn't the cold tub.
No.
But yeah.
But there are some similarities between the hot tub and
it's
the cold
a
tub.
similar body style kind of thing.
So, Craig, we have about 10 minutes left in this live.
Yeah.
Do you want to throw on a bathing suit and go for a little dip?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Why not?
I'll do it.
Okay. I'm going to put these guys down. They can just enjoy the sights and sounds of nature. And Craig will be back. And we'll wrap things off with a dip.
Are in production right now. We're going to launch them a little bit later this spring, and I think they're going to be a nice addition to the bathing experience. They're like all Sherpa felt inside, and like this quilted nylon on the outside, waterproof, big roomy hood. Just a real cozy thing for some outdoor swimming. Maybe you're sitting out around the fireplace. Anyways, stay tuned for the outdoor rub. Okay, what was the weight? So the empty weight, which we talk about sometimes, can get down to 125 pounds, so it's really easy to carry for people. When it's full with water and 2 people, it's close to 3,000 pounds. Now that's like 2 large-sized people. Can your deck hold it? I'm sure it can. So one thing to consider is like this filled with water is similar in weight to like an outdoor dining table with like 8 people around it kind of thing. So it's a similar footprint and like a similar weight altogether, if that makes sense. By the time you get all 8 people together and a dining table, you know, that's almost about 3,000 pounds. And this, when it's full with water and a couple of people on it, is about 3,000 pounds. We had some other questions before about what is a good like surface for the tub. And that is a great question. We see all kinds of different surfaces for the tub. We see, you can put it on whatever. It's totally off grid. It doesn't have to bolt it down, or it doesn't have to be a concrete pad at all by any means. It's not that heavy that it requires that. You can put it on gravel, you can put it on grass, but the best thing to put it on is, we like a solid surface. So like pavers, kind of like what we've got here, super easy to clean. You know, when you get out and it's wet, the water's not going to affect it at all. Or a deck. A deck is great too because the water will drain through it. You just need like a 2x6 deck on some pier blocks. That's what we've got at our other spot with the tub. So yeah, what I would avoid is like somewhere that is kind of like muddy or sandy, because that'll get on your feet and then get into the tub. So that's really when it comes down to that. And like, should it be level? Yeah, like it should be level. But if it's not level, then just the water in the tub is not going to be level, and that would bug me a little bit. But if it doesn't bug you, then make it as level as you want. You can always shim up the bottom to make it more level or something like that too. I'm getting in now.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm getting in. Woo! That's what we do.
All right, Ocean Song Cottages says the robe looks terrific. Any idea of the colors for the robe? You're looking at it.
You're looking at it. This is a burnt umber. Not black, not brown. Inspired by nature. Here goes. I don't think I've done this on the camera before. Oh, baby's nice. Oh, yeah. That's good. Ooh. That's nice. Oh, it is the best. That is the best part, highlight of it, for sure. We haven't probably shown the hand shower yet, so we could do that too. This is a Tom Fougere. You can get right in here. Tom Fougere designed this. You know, he did a lot of studying on Japanese bathing and the bathing culture there, and he designed this first in brass, solid brass, with us, and then we made an aluminum and a burnt umber version. But this is just a really nice way to kind of like soak in the bathing experience. Really nice way to kind of get cleaned off. Or as you're getting in, you can use it to clean your feet as you're getting in or out. Great way to do it. Alternatively, what we like to do is fill it up with some cold water. If you get a little too hot in the tub, fill it up with some cold. Oh, that's outstanding. Some questions we get about the tub are like how, hey, I'm a big guy, or my husband's a big guy, or whatever. Can he fit in the tub? Well, you can see, I think that this might show a good example of like how deep it is, kind of thing, and how long it is. It's about 6 feet long, and I'm 6 feet, and I fit in here. Obviously, you could probably fit about 3 of me in here, you know. No problem, but my wife and I'll sit in here. She'll sit on whatever side, and then our kids get in here too. So that's why we kind of say it's like a 2-3 person tub.
And there is a hot side, and not a cold side, but there's
that's like an interesting thing that we have trouble explaining. Is well, that side's the closest to the stove, so the heat radiates from that side to this side. So that can be kind of a fun thing in a way that like you can trade off for the hot side or the cold side. Okay, they're only a couple degrees difference, and
it's noticeable though.
There are no degrees difference if you like stir the water a bunch, but it is noticeable, and it's a kind of a fun thing. You take turns in the hot seat. There's a lot of things there that are fun. Yeah. What else do we got? The cedar tannins.
Oh yeah.
When you first get it, and we first use the cedar boards, the first few soaks, after a little while, the water will kind of go this like yellow amber hue, and that is the tannins from the cedar leaching into the water, which is a really great thing. It's proven to be like really good for your skin. There are like cedar tannin baths where they like cover you in cedar tannins in Japan. And so this is like a little mini experience of that you get the first kind of few times that you soak. So a really great fun thing. Another one that we kind of like people don't really notice a lot, is we actually do spend a lot of time kind of seated like this.
Yeah.
Too, is especially for us, our view is that way, and it is a nice kind of cozy way to sit. I don't know how to explain it other than like this is just a nice way to sit.
Yeah, it kind of holds you nicely. You can look at the view.
Switch it up a little bit, you know, but the recliners are built so that you can kind of lounge back like that.
And what would you say to people? Because I know you've had a lot of questions about like, oh, we'd like to fit more people. Like it seems a bit small for our big family or whatever.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
If you have like 5 people in your family, this might not be the right thing. So we actually we do have a larger tub in development right now. That's going to be quite a bit wider, and will be great for those larger experiences of people where you want to lounge out. Now, keep in mind that a bigger tub equals more water. volume. So it's still reduced water volume compared to like lots of other tubs out there, but that just does play a role in the heat up time essentially. So the bigger the wood burning hot tub, the more water and the longer it takes to heat up.
Beauty.
I think that's kind of it. Do we have any other questions? Is that we're still live?
Oh yeah. Question from Court. She said, "Imagine this is your job."
Yeah, yeah, good point. Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't tell.
Yeah. Tristan's gonna come in here in a couple minutes. Thanks, guys, for following along. YouTube, subscribe, drop us a comment if you have any questions, comments. Instagram, we're always open on our DMs. We'll do another live soon, maybe with the cold tub. And you can always hit us up with your questions. Thanks so much for joining, and take care, you guys.